Everywhere you look, tokenization is growing at an incredible rate. And this is what I've been saying all along. Stablecoins are going to be the secret sauce that lets tokenization function and become popular. Consider it this way. What do you do next after your assets are residing on the blockchain as tokens? You should do things with them, like buy them, sell them, trade them, or even use them as collateral for loans. You need a consistent way to price everything for all of that to work well. Something that won't change value a lot when you're trying to make a trade. Stablecoins are what you need. They're just like regular fiat currencies, but with blockchain close on. This gives you a stable base to build on. It's great that we already have USD and a lot of other fiat currencies residing on blockchains as stablecoins. But when it comes to Ripple and XRP, there is one stablecoin that everyone is talking about. RLUSD. So, image this. In early July, BNY Mellon made a big announcement. They had been chosen to be the main custodian for Ripple's enterprise stablecoin reserves. In other words, they're stating that Ripple USD, BNY, and Ripple are working together to make digital assets a reality for big institutions and close the gap between traditional banking and the crypto world. This news hit me like a ton of bricks. BNY Mellon isn't just any old banking company. We're talking about a giant that has more than $50 trillion in assets. That's a crazy amount of money. When one of the world's biggest and most well-known blue-chip financial companies decided to work with Ripple to protect RLUSD's reserves, the whole crypto community was shocked. So, this is why I'm bringing up that July announcement again. Because we just got some big news that just came in. EDANX just said that they are working with BNY Mellon to maintain and keep safe their tokenized the Treasury Bills Fund. It's pretty cool how OpenEden's tokenization technology works with BNY's investment and asset management skills. People are saying it's a big step forward for real-world assets. And, to be honest, they're not wrong. This is exactly the kind of thing that shows how serious everyone is about supporting tokenized assets from beginning to end. In their announcement, OpenEden said it correctly. They argue that this relationship with BNY will help them reach their goal of producing secure, open, tokenized financial solutions that institutions can trust and employ. When you put OpenEden's tokenization platform together with BNY's huge worldwide reach and all the fiduciary knowledge they've built up over the years, you basically make a whole new set of rules for how trust and access function in the digital asset world. BNY's opinion on this is quite telling. They're trying to be the link between traditional finance and all this new blockchain technology. They're excited to bring their proven services for managing liquidity and keeping things safe to the T-bill arena, and it's apparent that they're all in on partnering with OpenEden to handle tokenized assets from start to finish. But this is where things become very interesting, and to be honest, a little mind-blowing. Do you remember August 1st, 2024? OpenEden worked with Ripple to make US tokens, treasury bills on the XRP ledger. The T-bills that are the main focus of this latest announcement from BNY on August 13, 2025, are the same ones we're talking about. The stats also tell an amazing narrative. There is $190 million locked up in the XRP ledger on RWA.XYZ, and it has gone up more than 60% in the previous month. Eden is open. With $75.5 million, they're the second biggest player on the XRP ledger. And listen to this. That's a huge one. 300% increase in just 30 days. OpenEden's entire footprint is even more astounding, with almost $560 million on chain, which is a 15% increase from last month. They still do most of their business on Ethereum, but they also have a strong presence on XRP, Solana, Arbitrum, and Base. It's crazy to see these big companies that are connected to the XRP ledger or Ripple start to work with big banks like BNY, the same BNY that's already working with Ripple. It feels like we're watching all of these relationships happen right in front of us. This coming together isn't just a theory anymore. It's really happening right now. The XRP ledger itself is undoubtedly getting a lot more valuable. Things have been quite stable when you look at the wider picture of tokenization, though. We have about $13.13 billion worth of tokens, and, to be honest, that number hasn't changed much in the last month. But I have a hunch that this space is about to blow up. This is what it is. Regulators are finally starting to do something real, both here in the US and around the world. Hong Kong's tokenization projects are going really well, and you can sense the momentum growing. It seems like everything is stuck in place right now. And I think that's because we're all simply waiting for those important regulatory judgments to come out. It's like the moment before a dam breaks. I think this $13 billion amount is going to soar through the roof once we get clear rules from the government. The foundation is all set. We are just waiting for the go-ahead. Look at this. Ripple is looking at a huge $19 trillion chance. This news came out just 3 days ago, and to be honest, it's very thrilling. So here's the deal. Ripple is putting themselves in the middle of this big $19 trillion revolution. We are talking about turning real-world assets into tokens. You name it, treasuries, gold, stocks, real estate, and more. And believe me, this tokenization stuff is going to blow up in a huge manner. I don't mind waiting for things to happen since I know it will be worth it. We have around $13 billion on chain right now, but we want to reach $19 trillion. That has a lot of room to expand. XRP is currently the 9th place for RWA value, and get this. But this is where it gets fascinating. XRP Ledger just came in 2nd place for RWA growth in the last 30 days. It's really starting to take off, going up more than 50%. You can see everything in the comprehensive market overview when you look at the figures from last month. So, looking at those 30-day gains, XRP is doing fairly well at about 61%. Binance Smart Chain, on the other hand, is doing great with gains of over 1,500% since they're providing a lot of RWA value. But this is what I love to see. The XRP ledger has obviously become more valuable, which is exactly what we want. This is extremely good. There is clearly a lot of excitement about tokenization. Will XRP ledger take the top spot soon? It really depends on the place we're talking about. To be honest, I'm not too worried about getting to the top of the 30-day growth rankings. The cumulative value across all these networks is what I'm actually watching. Some of these, like ZK, SYNC period, aren't even on layer 1, so I just don't pay any attention to those at all. But Ethereum is worth more than $7 billion, so I'm very sure these networks are going to get a lot bigger in the next few weeks and months, especially when more announcements come out and real money starts moving on chain. These things don't happen right away. It takes a while for things to get to the public networks, so yes, I think that area will change quite soon. And here's the best part. The SEC has been talking a lot about tokenization lately. Look at this. Justin, who is an SEC commissioner, just said some big things about rules for tokenization. Investors are coming in like crazy every day, all over the place. Traditional banking and crypto companies are working together. This future with tokens, it's coming at us quickly. Check this out. But I want to go on and talk about tokenization. That is clearly another significant issue right now. What do you think are some of the risks that could come up when common investors become involved with tokenization? I believe that a lot of people are interested in tokenizing real-world assets like equities. After the SEC altered its mind about crypto, that really opened up. A number of traditional financial companies and native crypto companies are interested. And there are many ways that people are going about tokenizing. We shall work with people then. We are open to working with folks who are doing things differently. But it's really crucial that people are very careful about what they say about the asset when they tokenize something. It's still a safe. If you are tokenizing a security, it could be a security that has different features. And investors need to know that. And it's also crucial to know that they sometimes have rules about who can trade certain sorts of securities or who can access them. So that's something people need to pay attention to. And that's something you've said before. Tokenized securities are still securities. You do have some companies. For instance, I'm thinking of Robinhood offering tokenized stock trading. I think that's become popular in Europe. Do you think that this may be a situation where you might